The Frog in the Well. Once upon a time, in a deep well, there lived a little frog who had been there since he was young. The well was not large, but to the frog, it was an entire world. Every day, he would jump onto the rocks protruding from the well's walls, gaze at the small patch of blue sky above, and believe that this was all that existed. Each day, the frog enjoyed his life, swimming joyfully in the cool water, catching small insects flying by, and hopping around on the smooth pebbles. To him, there was no better place than this well. He often thought with pride, "My world is beautiful. There is fresh water, delicious food, and a perfect place to jump around. I am truly lucky." He also loved boasting to the other small creatures living in the well, such as the snail, the crab, and the little fish. "Look at me. I am the ruler of this place. I can jump high, swim well, and I know everything about this world." The other creatures remained silent, as they too had never seen the world beyond the well. One day, a heavy rain poured down, and water from outside flooded into the well, carrying mud and fallen leaves with it. At the same time, a stork flying overhead saw the open mouth of the well and decided to stop and rest. The frog looked up, saw the stork, and immediately boasted, "Hey, stork, where do you come from? Do you know how wonderful this world is?" Hearing this, the stork was surprised and asked, "Frog, do you really think the world consists only of this little well?" The frog laughed loudly. "Of course, this well is everything. I have water to swim in, rocks to jump on, and plenty of food. What could be better than this?" The stork shook his head and gently replied, "Oh, little frog, the world outside is much larger than you can imagine. There are long, flowing rivers, vast oceans, endless green forests, and countless other creatures. You don't believe me?" The frog was astonished, but still arrogant. "I don't believe it. If such a vast world exists, why have I never seen it?" The stork smiled and gently said, "Because you have never stepped out of this well. If you want to know the truth, jump out and see for yourself." Hearing this, the frog suddenly felt curious. He looked up at the deep mouth of the well, where the vast blue sky stretched beyond. He hesitated for a moment, then decided to try jumping out. The frog gathered all his strength and leapt as high as he could, but having lived in the well for so long, his legs were not strong enough to escape. He tried multiple times, but each time he fell back down. Seeing this, the stork said, "Climb onto my back, and I will take you up." The frog was hesitant, but eventually agreed. The stork gently lifted off, carrying the frog out of the well. As they reached the top, the frog was so amazed that he was speechless. Before him was an enormous world he had never seen, an endless sky, vast green fields, shimmering rivers reflecting the sunlight, and towering mountains in the distance. The frog realized that his tiny well was just a small part of a much greater world. The frog exclaimed, "I was wrong. I thought the well was everything, but the world is so much bigger." The stork smiled. "Now you understand. If you only look at a tiny corner, you will never see the whole truth. You must dare to step out, to explore, and only then will you truly see what the world is like." From that day on, the frog decided never to return to the well. He traveled far and wide, exploring a vast world and learning many new things. What lesson do we learn from the above story? Don't stay trapped in your own well. If we only see a small corner of life, we will never understand the vastness of the world. Dare to step out of your comfort zone. To grow and learn, we must broaden our perspectives and explore new things. Listen to new ideas instead of only believing what you know. Sometimes we must be humble and listen to realize that the world is different from what we once thought.